What's going on, guys? Kaiger here. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at the Battle Pass characters for both NA and Global, and tell you how they are, and if they're worth it. Let's get into it. So before we talk about the monsters, I just want to say, if you're going to spend any amount of money in this game, the Battle Pass is the first thing you would want to buy. But looking at Rakan for NA, he's a very nice champion. So his book effect is HP and precision. The precision is kind of wasted on him because none of his stuff really cares about that. His basic attack is interesting. It does apply burn. All of the chimeras apply their elemental effect based on their basic attack. So landing that basic, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not 6% rate. It's not really ever going to happen, and if it does, oh well. But going on into his first active skill, and this is really where he shines. 3 mana cost, damage based on max HP, which is 42% of max HP, 70% knock-up, 90% provoke. And if we take a look how that compares to Taeor, he has the 70% knockdown, which is different. So it's still 70-70, but also does the taunt on the provoke on the same skill, whereas over here it's provoke on a different skill for 4 mana, but also gives him defense up. And I compare him with Taeor because this is really the champion you need to compare it to. So damage based on HP instead of defense, huge deal, because if someone puts defense down on you, you are doing less damage as Taeor, whereas with Rakan, even though destroy destroys HP, this has been tested that you still will deal the same damage with this. It's whatever your max HP was leading into the battle. But the 70% knockback versus airborne are functionally the same. There are some differences where if it's a knockback, you can push someone into an AoE. That can happen, but doesn't really happen. Where airborne and knockback both stop you from using skills. Provoke being on the same skill is big, and that it's 3 mana is also very big. Level 3 reflect damage is 21% of the damage he takes, he's throwing back at you. And him on a 1 set destroy set, he's reflecting 30% of that damage is being destroyed. The runes I suggest for Rakan, if you want to build him for PvP to be like a Taeor, then you're looking at 80k HP, 3k defense, obviously bigger numbers if you can, but that's really where I would start. Talking about his next ability, he attacks 3 times, each hit does 18% of max HP, so he does good damage. 75% chance burn, that's not a huge deal, it can be alright, but applies damage dealt up. But only the first attack applies it into himself. So if we take a look, damage dealt up goes to 30%. So 30% bonus on his skills. And as we see, both skills are 3 mana cost. Now, you don't get to use ultimate very much in PvP, but I think his is worth looking at. Level 5 reflect damage, which it'll stack with everything else, but if we just look at level 5 on its own, we're looking at 26% of incoming damage is being reflected. He gets immunity, which is a huge keyword in PvP. He does 76% of his max HP as damage, as well as the same percentages airborne and provoke as his first active skill. Now, is Rakan worth it? He got a buff that not this past balance patch, but the one after. And honestly, he hasn't been revisited. And that's because a bunch of the people are still stuck in their ways with Taeor. And the people who have him have Sean, which is a extremely busted unit. and if you have him, go away. But how is Rakan? If you build him full HP, some defense, one destroy, double energy set, I think he's a good stand-in for Teor with more damage. Because if we take a look, 236% attack, 354% defense. Sure, he can give himself defense up with his other ability, but he can also get defense downed by Galleon, things like that, making his damage inconsistent. Whereas Rakan is always going to do his thing, and you only ever have to click this ability. He doesn't see a lot of play because we're still in a very water centric meta, but Rakan could see a resurgence. Now with Global, I was actually pretty surprised. I came over here to check who the monster was, and Rakan. So everything I said with the NA moves over to Global. Nothing about shield, other kind of runes like that. Now that you have Twisted Marsh, you can also get destroy runes. As I said, I like one destroy, double energy, and spam that first active skill. If you are an Orbia, make sure you're attacking something with elemental advantage so that you're getting mana a little bit quicker. Where Cleaf, you have to be getting hit, so you want to put yourself in the middle of everything so you can get hit and get the mana so you can use that active skill. And then really focus down on a target, doing the knock-up and provoke, and then going in on an AoE. And that, like I said, if you're going to spend any amount of money in this game, the Summoner Pass is the way to go. Till next time, guys.